fall would probably be my favorite. Spring it kind of vacillates between spring and fall just because I've gotten so sick of winter. I like it when things start to get warm and feel kind of fresh again in spring, but you always have that moment where it's similar to fall. Well, yeah, and everything's still in the middle of melting. So, okay, sure, the snow is technically gone, but everything is damp and muddy and gross. And then, yeah, there's trash that people ended up that somehow got into the snow. So as everything melts, there's just shit everywhere. So at least with fall, even though it kind of indicates that you're going to be leading into winter soon, the grass is dry from summer. You have some mornings where dew is collecting so the grass can be a little moist or something, but it's pretty, it's cool, it's crisp.
Yeah.
So I mean, fall has probably become my favorite. You get to put on sweaters and sit outside, and last night we had a bonfire. We were actually remarking on how it has been. I don't know how it's been in Colorado, but it has been so cold here lately that we have had ice on our windshields in the morning. And so Lily first mentioned hey, we should have a bonfire Saturday night. It'll be perfect. We were actually all talking about how we brought jackets and sweatpants and it was too goddamn hot. It was 68 degrees at 10 at night. We're what the fuck? And now it's supposed to be in the 70s again for most of this week, and then by Friday the high is supposed to be 46.
We've still been in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Our high currently is 72.
Yeah, I think ours right now is 67. Although I am unfortunately sequestering myself in a room with a closed door and no fan, so it feels very hot. Yeah. And a computer that is running, so.
We're supposed to start dropping down, but we've been getting rain, which we're always excited about with rain, just because if we don't have rain, then everything's on fire.
Yeah.
And then people move here and they're like, why is Colorado just so smoky all the time? We're like, well, welcome to hell. Everything burns.
Yeah.
We haven't had rain in months.
Damn. Which I suppose is kind of the flip side of being one of the sunniest places, where it's when you don't have clouds collecting and you don't have precipitation, shit dries the fuck out.
It does, and it will catch on fire. No, just knocking stuff down.
Oh my god, I'm still so pissed about my camera. I spent $80 on this fucking thing. It's supposed to be nice. I'm we're getting into doing podcast stuff. We might start a YouTube thing at some point. Who knows? I should probably have a sweet camera, and it's not. But it's almost certainly
my computer camera.
Yeah, it's almost certainly and it doesn't even have a light or anything, so it's not
Oh.
But it's also I'm now determined to make it work because I have confirmed that for sure the mic on it works and the camera works. So it's a simple device. Yeah, I know for a fact it functions. Yeah, there's something wrong in my computer, some piece of hardware that is conflicting with it for some reason. Although today is the closest I've ever gotten. I've never been able to get it to recognize video of any kind in Discord. Mm-hmm. So when I called you earlier and was doing the tests, I was just amazed that it was sending an image and you could see it and everything worked. And then it's oh no, but of course the flip side is no audio.
Yeah. Kind of need audio for a podcast. Video, not so much.
Yeah. It's kind of the bigger part.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But
yeah.
I myself am a huge fan of winter because I love the cold. I love snow. I also don't deliver mail in it, so Yeah. I'm sure if I had to be out in it all day, every day. Although, I mean, we were out in it a lot skiing and stuff growing up as kids. So.
And I thought about that a lot too, because when we were little, we'd go sledding and snowmobiling and skating and stuff. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that was also by choice. And when you're skiing,
it's different.
Yeah, you get to the bottom of the hill. You even if like the rest of your group wants to keep going, you can just go, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I gotta jump in, pee, whatever. And so I think it will actually be a lot better with my new route because it's mostly driving. So it's not
Nice.
and luckily I've already checked the heater in my truck, although they're old and shitty, it does work. So
That's
that
good.
will it's really good. It pumps out some good heat. And and I'm on almost the entirety of my route is really flat. So even like when it's snowing and ice starts building it up and stuff, I won't have to worry too much. I'll drive a little slower and just be careful. But so I'm hoping that my view of winter will flip back a little bit again. But after I started delivering mail, I was thinking about that because I'm like, if you asked me like between the ages of 6 and probably 20 or so, winter was always my favorite. Sledding, skiing, snowboarding, snowmobiling in particular.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was the best. And then I realized that was also primarily because Dad did all of like the snow removal. Mom would make us hot cocoa. You know, she would like bundle us up and take all our stuff off and, you know, give us a bath. So like we didn't have to do really any of the work. It was just all fun. And when you become an adult, it's like, okay, so I already worked 10 hours today. Now I have to get up at 3 a.m. to shovel out the driveway to make sure I can get to work later. And then you go to bed and you wake up and it's like, oh, it was still snowing. So when I woke up at 3 and shoveled the driveway, I have to do it all again because it snowed another 6 inches. So now I'm going to be late to work, even though I did all that fucking work. Then you come home and you still have to like shovel off the deck and it just becomes so much more of a hassle than fun.
It does. And I'm a fan of it, but being on the road with other people who don't know what they're doing, aren't equipped for it.
Yeah.
Is scary at times. Which is also why I am that person that when it snows, I'm like, I get there when I get there.
Yeah.
Because I want to show up in one whole piece.
Yeah. No, definitely take your time. Well, and especially since I grew up driving Subarus and that all-wheel drive is really, really nice. And my last 2 vehicles have gone from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive. And it has been such a surprising difference. Like, I really took for granted how nice it was to have an all-wheel drive vehicle.
Yeah.
And you just, when the snow hits, take your time. Don't let anybody pressure you or whatever, like on the road and whatnot.
Yeah. And don't be that person that gets a big truck or a big SUV and then suddenly thinks that you are immune to the laws of nature and physics, because you're not.
I was literally just going to dive into that because when my rear wheel drive vehicle was a 1990 something, I think it was a 99 Crown Vic, and big V8 engine and rear wheel. And I used to drive that from the northwest corner of North Dakota to the Twin Cities in like 1 10-hour go in winter. And the tail end is drifting a little bit because the rear wheels would slide. And I never got into an accident. I never hit a ditch or anything. But I was living in North Dakota when the big oil boom was happening. So you had dudes who were coming from mostly all over the country, but in some cases all over the world. Oh, yeah. And a lot of them never even seen snow before. But they get a big ass contract from these oil companies. They come up and one of the first things they do is they buy a big ass truck. Yep. And it's exactly what you said. They suddenly think that they're immune to the elements. And it's like, look, I don't care how big or heavy your 4 tires are. If they all hit ice and you're going 90 miles an hour, you're fucking screwed. The number of
doesn't matter.
No.
What vehicle you have.
Yeah, if you're not being conscious of the conditions and driving appropriately, you're screwed. No amount of technology is going to save you.
Yeah, and we actually had to change our laws here because of people driving with snow plows. If there are 2 plows next to each other, it is illegal to pass them. Which you don't want to be in front of them anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that, but they did make that a law now that if there is 2 like side by side or one like right after the other, you cannot pass them.
Interesting.
Because, well, I don't know how often this is happening, but if you're in front of the snowplow and suddenly you don't have traction, that vehicle's not stopping for you.
Right, for sure. They got a job to do, and they know that slamming on their brakes is going to be a bad time for everyone, so.
Yeah, it's way safer behind them than in front of them, that's for sure. You might, as we call him here, the Colorado cracked windshield. Because, you get a rock in there and you're like, it's just, I'm going to get another one. It's not worth fixing until it's like really bad.
Yeah.
So like most vehicles, mine actually does not have one. I have a few chips, but no like crack. You have like, usually people have like a nice long crack on the bottom somewhere. Oh, yeah. And as long as it's not impairing your vision when you're driving, it's fine.
I should say real quick, not a sponsor or anything, but if you're familiar with the channel Tyler Tube on YouTube, he tests. He's a real mysterious guy. He has almost like 1 million followers on YouTube. Lily and I have been watching a lot of videos. He's one of those guys who just tests. His primary thing is testing a bunch of random things like from Amazon and stuff.
That's awesome.
But he has 2 YouTube channels. He has 2 Instagram channels, a bunch of followers, and no background. We didn't do like a super deep dive, but he never mentions family. He never mentions a wife, kids, nothing. He doesn't really talk about what his job is. And for a long time now, he's just been doing YouTube. But like, he's one of the only people we've seen who's like on YouTube who isn't just constantly flaunting like nobody knows where he lives even. He's never more than like just a few feet outside of his garage, if he's outside of his garage. Wow. So there's no way to like pinpoint landmarks or anything. He's like an odd ghost of a YouTuber. But that wasn't even the point.
You don't see that on YouTube.
No,
you don't see that like anywhere, because usually we talk about where we live. We don't say I live specifically on this street in this area.
Right.
I don't need anyone showing up at my house.
And then he says weird things. He had never heard of a zucchini.
What?
Yeah, he called it a zucchini. Because of a product he was. Yeah. And from what we've found on Reddit, he must live in the Appalachian area.
Okay.
And so he's just kind of away from the rest of society or something. It's weird, but
that is.
Yeah, long roundabout way of saying he tested some at-home windshield chip products, and they work well. So you can if you've got some chips, don't let them become cracks. This is a public service announcement. Get yourself a cheap little
get them chips.
Yeah, get a chip fixer thing and follow the directions. It doesn't take very long, and you'd be amazed at the results.
Actually, most of the time, if you get your oil changed, they can do that for free.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Aren't cars fun?
They are.
This has nothing to do with our episode, but I don't know about you, but I made my tea hot.
I did too.
I mixed it with the black tea and did kind of more of like a hot toddy style.
Nice.
But a lot more of the deep eddy vodka, which is what I got.
That's what I got. Well, since we're jumping in, welcome everybody. Hello.
Welcome.
This is Peculiar Pairings. My name is Matt.
I'm Celine. We got some tea today.
Yeah. And I've never really done this before. I've had Jeremiah weed tea. And it's been a while. I don't remember how I used to do it, but this one I just made some hot water, and I thought that these were more of liqueurs, but it's 35% alcohol. So I put in just like a shot and a half of the deep eddy sweet tea. Because I couldn't find the Jeremiah weed. I know that's the one I had recommended. But I picked up the deep eddy, and then I just poured some hot water to fill up the cup, and it tastes like tea. I'm pretty happy about it. It's quite good.
Yeah, I mixed mine with the black tea. So with the hot water, I just had like the tea bag and filled it up so that it has a little more of that tea.
Is it Earl Grey?
No, it is Darjeeling black tea.
Okay.
Which I think it's probably closer to like English breakfast tea than an
right.
Earl Grey. It doesn't have.
It's not quite as bitter.
I feel like Earl Grey has like hints of lavender in it.
Oh.
You know?
I guess I wouldn't know.
It's got more of a. It's a unique taste. I do love Earl Grey though.
Yeah,
I love a good, like London fog.
Yeah, I've had plenty of Earl Grey, but I don't know enough about lavender. Honestly, I just know that there's something about when I first had Earl Grey, it was a little off-putting, but it's got a strange sort of bitter sourness to it that I've really developed a taste for. Yeah,
it's good.
I can see how it would balance out pretty well with the sweetness of the deep eddy vodka.
Yeah, I wanted to do more of like a hot tea, just kind of in the spirit of getting into the fall season.
Yes.
And the cold weather and like wintry things.
Yeah. It's cozy, it's comforting. Although we were talking earlier that like we've hit a bit of a heat wave here, so my plan was have the window open because we've had nights literally where I've had to like I get up in the morning and I've had to scrape ice off of my windshield already, and it was like the third week of September. So I'm kind of, when we talked about sitting down to record, I'm thinking, oh yeah, it'll be nice and cool. I'll open the window, be this nice cold draft. Yeah. And no, it's like 70 degrees right now. And I think in this office, it's probably 75. But, we make do. Yeah. Still drinking my hot tea.
Yes. So when I was at the store earlier with Gabriel, we went to Sprouts, and I forget that Sprouts doesn't have, like, caramel candies.
Oh.
So I went with the alternative of Tony's Chocolonely chocolate caramel sea salt.
Ooh.
Which this is, I actually heard about this brand from listening to, and that's why we drink, one of the hosts, M. Schultz, is a huge fan of their chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Which I tried at one point and I was like, I don't know if this is chocolate I would necessarily buy like all the time, but I'm also not buying chocolate all the time. But it is fair trade and anti-slavery or slavery-free chocolate.
Oh, well, that's good.
Which is why I feel better paying more for it, because then I at least feel better about not buying something that's like Hershey's that uses slavery type practices or just straight up slavery to harvest the cocoa.
Which I think is something that I've been really disillusioned about in the last few years. The idea that something like if you ask somebody when the last slave was freed, in the world, what year would you guess? And everyone's always surprised to be like, well, there still are, so not yet. Right, yeah, not so yet. It hasn't happened. So
bananas are actually a great example of that, unfortunately.
And especially if you tie it in with just general, like the concept of human trafficking, it's kind of mind-boggling how we feel like, especially in America, we feel like these are things that have been tackled and destroyed. And it's like, no, even here, there's still stuff happening that we should be addressing.
I think like the biggest areas that have it are chocolate, bananas, and then shoes.
Oh yeah, shoes are probably a big one.
I know there was a whole thing with like Nike a few years ago. I don't know if anything has changed with that, honestly, where people were really upset that they're like, my shoes are made by the hands of like a 10-year-old in a sweatshop.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure that they've changed a whole lot, honestly. But if I am wrong, I'd love to hear that, because I don't think that that's okay.
No, for sure. I would definitely love to hear that practices like that have been ending.
Yeah, but that is is what I chose to get today, was that, because it still had caramel, but then it's got like the little bit of sea salt that gives it a little savory taste.
Yeah, well, and that actually works for sort of a progression of the episode. We usually go with the topic first, but for anyone who's a little confused right now, we have little caramel bites, or at least that was like the idea. And
I was trying to find those, like the little squares.
Yeah.
Caramel. Or just like handmade caramel?
Yeah, and it's fine that you got that. It's even like a similar color. Because I wasn't really going for the particular flavor. It doesn't necessarily matter about that. The reason that I went with caramel bites is because they resemble a small box. And the reason that I went with tea has nothing to do with the pairing. It made me think of a tea box. And so, like, I was thinking about tea and caramel, and then and then coincidentally, they both give me a sense of fall and moving into colder weather and stuff. So yeah, it was really all just an aesthetic thing. Like, the thing that we're talking about resembles what I thought to be like a tea box, and that's what little caramel pieces are. So without any further ado, Celine, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about the ever famous Dybbuk Box. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh yeah, and it's actually kind of cool because it's one of those things where I'm familiar with it, but as you can tell by the treats, I don't remember nearly enough about what I learned the last like year that I saw a video about it to have made an informed choice about like pairings or anything. But I'm excited. I do remember it being very creepy, so now I'm excited.
Yes. And this one, we have a few different directions. We are taking this one in. I'm just moving stuff a little closer to me. One of them being that I want to talk about the individual people who have owned this box and kind of the original story of how it kind of came about, which without further ado, our sources are Wikipedia, eOnline, inputmagazine.com, travelchannel.com, and dybbukbox.com. It has its own website, which I didn't know.
Well, and not to jump too far ahead, is it? It's a singular thing, right? It's not like a Dybbuk box refers to multiple kinds of something. It's one specific box.
It is one specific box that we are talking about today. However, there are 10 within this specific type of Dybbuk box. There were 10 made, and each of them refers, and if you want to, you can see all of this on information with, I believe it is in connection with Zak Bagan, since he currently owns 2 of them. There's 10 total made. 2 of them are missing. He owns 2, and the other 6 are out there.
Zachy boy's back in the game.
Yes, I know we haven't had him in a story in a while.
Yeah, I do enjoy when he pops up.
Yes. So each of these boxes is in correlation to, I believe it is Jewish mythology, and that like each one is part of a symbol of the tree of life, and there's a total of 10.
Okay.
I don't know which one this is specifically, let alone the other one Zach owns, but I know the first original famous one is larger than the second one he acquired. The second one he has is a little smaller.
Oh.
But it is still within the same series.
Right. Yes. Weird.
Yes. So I think in order to truly understand what this box is exactly, we do need to understand what a Dybbuk is.
Yeah, and that's one thing I don't really remember learning from the thing that I saw. Like, went through this whole like hour-long video, and I'm like, okay, I know it's a box, but they didn't. Right. They didn't really explain that.
Yeah, the Dybbuk itself comes from Jewish mythology, and in the word, and kind of the etymology of the word is that it comes from the word dabek, meaning adhere or cling to. And the word Dybbuk itself has very negative connotations, and that it is something that is more malicious, clinging to and adhering to. And that is typically more clinging to people than it is objects. However, for people who are more into spirits and hauntings and more of the occult side of things, it is believed that spirits can attach themselves to everything from people to objects.
Okay.
And the Dybbuk itself is more of a malicious spirit. And it is not generally one that is considered like a specific demonic spirit. It is believed to be more of a dislocated soul of a dead person or of the dead.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people do think that it could be more of a demon than just any sort of malicious or negative spirit.
So yeah, it's not like an ancient spirit whose name is Dybbuk. It's like a classification of spirit or demon. Okay, gotcha.
It's a classification of a spirit that clings and possesses more specifically.
Ugh, creepy.
It is a possessing spirit, not just one that's just like, I just like you, so I'm going to just hang around.
Hi, I'm here.
Hi, I'm here.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just hanging out.
I feel like I'd be that kind of ghost that's just like, I'm just here. I just like want to hang out with you.
Yeah, I would be the one who's
push something off the counter just to like scare you a little bit, but like I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm the one who's desperately just trying to like hang, but like I'm still so new to just like being a ghost that I keep frightening the fuck out of them, and then I'm like, no, oh fuck, no, I'm stuck here. Yeah, I'm like, just when you go to work, can you just turn the TV on? Because I have fucking nothing else to do.
I wonder if that's why Eugene turns the TV on sometimes, because he's like, I just like
I hope so. He's been stuck there for so long. Yeah, he's like,
scares me every time because I like will be upstairs and then the TV comes on and I'm like, what is happening?
He's like, I just want to watch CNN. I just want to know what's going on in Ukraine. You know,
that's on you, Eugene. We don't have cable. We have Yahoo Finance News.
Oh my God.
Oh, actually, on a little side tangent for you. There was one I watched where they were talking about forgiving student loan debt.
Yeah.
And they were talking to, so I can't remember what the exact title is for like the federal education person. But they were talking to him and they're like, well, don't you think this is a bad idea? And he's like, for who? He's like, these are people that like we're actually helping more immediately and they contribute directly to our economy. So if they're not having to pay for this, they actually have money to like, I don't know, buy clothes.
Yeah. And it's weird how just like where you live, your upbringing and stuff, maybe your own struggles in life can shape how you feel about certain things. But I still remember a conversation, and I wish I would have had more of a backbone and stood up for it. But it was me and Dad. It was like two Labor Days ago, and we were all sitting out on the deck at Dad's house. And it was him and like a bunch of his buddies that he's known for years and that I've known, but they're all fairly conservative. And they were talking about how, well, you know, the leftists are really big on, you know, providing public education. And they turned to me because I had said something about like providing medical care for everyone. They're like, well, so they're talking about, you know, providing universal schooling. So like if somebody wants to go to school to get a degree, you'd have to pay for it. How would you feel about that? And I was basically just like, yeah, I'm not, even at like back then, I wasn't super like financially stable, but I'm like, if I can ensure that other people don't have to go through the stress that I'm constantly under, that's fine. And if we can like invest in our future generations to be like, we're behind a lot of other countries. I'm like, I feel like we should just be investing in the future generations. And I think it's worth it. Yeah.
For me, the thing that gets me is, so my mom went to a private school.
Oh, wow.
Well, so St. Ben's is a private college.
Ooh la la.
And the amount of money that she spent in 4 years to get her degree is the equivalent of what I paid in one semester for a state school.
Yeah, yeah.
So the equivalent of what she paid for her entire 4 years of education is what I paid for a state school for one semester. And not only that, but the amount of money her school charges now for education went from the equivalent of like $8,000 a year to over $100,000 a year.
Oh God.
So that's a problem because that doesn't correlate, but
well, and
so they had the guy on there, and then they were talking about the teacher shortage.
All
of that, and he was like, well, maybe we should lower standards for who's teaching our children, and he just looked him in the eyes, just complete deadpan, and was like, if you think that is the solution for our teacher shortage, you are part of the problem, and just like hung up the call. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, Eugene, this is the only TV we got.
This is the only TV we got.
We got Netflix, but it's always, every time the TV comes on, it is like the Yahoo Finance channel. And I'm like, we don't have regular TV.
He's like, I don't care. I just want something. I just
noise.
That's fine. Yeah. He's like, I'm well beyond student loan bullshit, but I'll listen to it. There again, when you guys go to work, when you're on your computers, I just want something down here. He just doesn't want to be alone. I can see that.
Well, he has the dog now, so I don't know if she loves that though.
It's a good point.
She'll hear noise and she'll just like growl, and we're like, stop it.
Is it weird that I kind of want Eugene to follow you guys to your new place? Like, I want to feel like... I
actually mentioned that to our roommate that we're planning on living with, just because it's a lot cheaper to have a place between three people than for just the two of us.
Oh, yeah. Well, and if you're getting like a house, like you're renting a whole house, for sure, yeah.
We're planning on renting a house or a townhouse.
Nice.
But with that, I'm like, like there's a chance he could follow us, and he's like, we might be followed by a ghost. I'm like,
yeah,
he's not gonna hurt you.
Oh, he was worried?
He was worried, yeah.
I thought he was gonna be on board. I thought he was gonna be like, fuck yeah, hanging out with Eugene.
Like, what? And he's like, you have a ghost in this house? And like, yeah, his name's Eugene. He was a Navy vet, and like went on this whole thing.
He's fine
about this spirit we have, and I'm like, yeah, he doesn't hurt anyone, so like I don't see the point in being like, he can't be here, because unless he is being malicious, this was his house first, technically.
Yeah, and still is. He just wants someone to hang out with. He just doesn't want to feel alone.
So. And I mean, the dog's not super freaked out, so
well, that's good. Yeah, that's
always the thing I see like in scary movies, when it's like the dogs or like the cats are like really upset, and I'm like, no, I don't like this.
Yeah, that is really unsettling and creepy.
That's always when I'm like, this isn't going well.
Eugene could be a Dybbuk. He's just like, well, I guess that's more like being trapped than possessing, but like he's stuck to one thing.
I mean, I like to think that most spirits aren't attached to things.
Yeah.
So technically he could follow us if he wants to and just like pop in from what I believe. And I have heard that like ghosts will do that, because there's always like, oh, like this famous ghost like haunts our hotel, but they haunt like 5 other places too.
That's the best.
Like, there's no way that they're just like stuck to one place. Like, they gotta be able to like at least travel around to places they've been to. Like, that would make sense.
Yeah. Well, and I would like to think that if that is a representation of an actual afterlife, that what a shitty existence if you're just stuck to, like, because maybe that wasn't even where he died. Maybe he just lived there for a period of time, like when he was going to college, and it was just sort of an in-between thing. And so like he gets to his afterlife and he's stuck in this apartment and he's like, why? This is where I'm stuck. I'd like to think that he has an afterlife and he goes around and sees his old places that he went to. His haunts, as it were.
Eugene didn't die in our house. Like, he was elsewhere, so.
Well, sure, but I mean,
if you're stuck haunting the place you died, you definitely wouldn't be here.
Man, hospitals would be insane.
Hospitals are insanely haunted.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, but not like present ones, like old ones that are dilapidated and stuff.
No, like most hospitals are generally kind of haunted.
The hell? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
I watch a lot of ghost shows.
All right. Well, maybe we'll have to talk about that in the future.
I think we definitely will. So,
haunted hospitals, son of a bitch. All right.
Speaking of attaching with ghosts, it is believed that a Dybbuk will only leave its host either because it is exorcised from them or they've accomplished their goal. And I don't really know what that entails.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's malicious to the point where they're like, I'm picking this host and my goal is to end them, or if it is, I want these certain things to happen to this person. Like, I want to ruin their life, or because it's malicious, that's why I'm going with negative things versus just going, I just want to like hang with them. It would be more upon the lines of, I want horrible things to happen.
Right.
That's what I want. So the Dybbuk itself does first appear in the 16th century writings.
Oh, okay.
And it is some of the earlier accounts of possessions, which people thought were to be of demons and not of just other ghosts, potentially.
Right.
Whereas that's kind of where the Dybbuk differs, is that it could be just an ordinary ghost versus a specific demon.
Yeah, like an overtly malicious spirit.
Yeah.
Or like a named demon, not just a random person who has passed away.
Yes.
Interesting.
And it is believed that most Dybbuks are male. So that's kind of like the difference between a succubus and a succubi.
Yeah. It's always a boys' club, isn't it?
Unless you're a succubus, then you're a woman.
I was, not to go on another tangent, but I was really surprised to learn that, like, because I'd heard of the band Incubus, and then I learned that there was a correlating
Incubus is
term.
what I'm thinking of. Succubi is a plural of succubus. Oh my god.
But still, like,
incubus
the idea
and a succubus. Yeah.
Right, like the idea that there isn't just one, like there isn't a term, like they aren't all incubi. There's an incubus and a succubus, and it's like the only difference is gender, and it's like, what's the point of that? Why does that even matter?
I know. It's like, why can't they just have one overarching term that this is your goal as a ghost, is to do X, Y, and Z.
The one that always gets me the most is comedian versus comedienne. They're pronounced almost exactly the same. One just has more N's and an E, and it's like, why aren't they both? They're almost the exact same word. Can we just not say comedian? Like, what?
That is because I believe the word comedian comes from the French language, in which you add extra N's and E's to show the difference between masculine and feminine.
Yeah, well, and that's actually what I was going. I was
going to go down the same generally.
Yeah, but like for terms of incubus and succubus, I'm pretty sure that that's Latin based. Yeah. So, like, when you consider that French and Spanish, you know, they're Latin languages. Yeah. So I get that they ended up with masculine, feminine stuff because they came from that, but it's 2020, whatever. Can't we get past all that? Come on.
Yeah. No, we can't. It is believed that Dybbuk, more specifically, has the goal of possessing women on the eves of their wedding nights for nefarious sexual reasons, which
oh my,
wouldn't that just make them an incubi at that point? So that's a
good point.
Don't quite believe.
Yeah, stay in your lane, Dybbuk.
Yeah, but it does show kind of the other forms of what they call soul transmigration in Jewish mythology, which is like souls attaching to different bodies, kind of in the way of like reincarnation in Hinduism. Mm-hmm. So kind of that idea that like you live multiple lives. Although in psychology and psychological literature, the Dybbuk is described as hysteria.
Oh, oh, good.
So the Dybbuk's just a little all over the place with some of that, but for the most part is a malicious spirit that attaches to things and people.
Okay.
So with that, we're going to start with the first buyer of this Dybbuk box.
Yes. The trail begins.
The trail begins with Kevin Mannis, who he
rather
bought
unassuming name.
It is an unassuming name. He bought the Dybbuk box itself is a wine cabinet.
Oh, okay.
And he bought it in September of 2001 at an estate sale in Portland, Oregon.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
That's totally where this would pop
things
up.
at estate sales.
Yeah. And in Oregon, of all places.
Yeah.
Oregon.
So the items were originally owned by a woman who was a Holocaust survivor. And she had recently passed away at the ripe old age of 103.
Holy moly.
I know. Good for her.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Like that's pretty good. And his granddaughter was putting on like the estate sale. She was selling everything. And as he was going to like pay for everything, she's like, "Oh, like I see you have the Dybbuk box." And she was explaining to him that her grandmother got it after the Nazi occupation in Poland. Her grandmother was born and raised in Poland. She raised her family there until the Nazi occupation, during which they were all sent to a concentration camp. And she was the only member of her family to survive.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's starting to feel dark.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And fortunately for her, she somehow escaped this concentration camp and fled with a few other prisoners to Spain, which from Poland to Spain is a huge trek.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Holy crap. I know I've talked about not knowing a lot about geography, but I know enough to know that that's a long way to go.
That's a long way to go, but I feel like at that point, if you are really hell-bent on surviving, you kind of find a way to make it work.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It definitely makes me think of some of the different stories you have from the Holocaust with Holocaust survivors, just kind of the crazy things that they managed to escape from. You're like, man, if this had gone just a tiny bit differently, like you would have been dead.
Yeah. The amount of just horrible situations that it's one of those things where sitting in our comfortable, computer chairs and stuff and looking back, it's like, I don't think I would have the wherewithal to survive that kind of thing, or even like make a decision to live a certain way to survive. Just be like, I wouldn't make it. I'd be dead.
Yeah, it would be like, it's one of those things where like, I honestly could not say what I would do in that sort of situation. Just because I like to hope that we would never have to have something like that again.
Sure.
But like, I know genocide is a lot more common than we want to think it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
So as her grandmother was in Spain, she acquired 3 items, which was the box, a sewing kit. I'm trying to remember like what the third item was, but she brought those 3 things back with her to the US from Spain. So she immigrated with those 3 items. Like those were her personal possessions.
Right.
And he was asking her, he's like, well, I don't really know like what a Dybbuk box is. And she's like, well, I kind of don't either, but I know that my grandma had it in her sewing room. And she said it always had to be closed. No matter what, you do not open this box.
Yeah, that's
There's
what I remember
evil in this box.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing from the last time I saw it, is like, you can have it, it'll be fine, Don't
do not open it.
Open it. Yeah, ever. Do not open it. Nothing.
She and her grandmother kept it like in her sewing room closed, out of reach, like for anybody. Just especially when you have young kids and grandkids, like you don't want them to just open things.
Yeah.
You keep that out of the way so they cannot get to it.
For sure.
Regardless of how much they try. And she said that she asked her grandmother what was inside, and she said that her grandmother would spit 3 times between her fingers and say a Dybbuk and a casilum, which I'm not sure what a casilum is, but it does not sound good.
A Dybbuk and a casilum?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. A Dybbuk and a casilum. I'm also kind of amazed at how it's spelled. It's not, I don't know what I would expect from, well, I don't really know much about how that would work anyways. Like, I don't know, what is that, Yiddish technically? Dybbuk?
It is Jewish, but it is like a form of Yiddish. I'm not really finding anything specifically on a casilum.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it either way, it doesn't sound good.
No. Real quick fun fact for anyone who's interested, there are people making and selling them on eBay. You can buy your own Dybbuk box.
You can buy your own Dybbuk box, and that was one of the articles I saw just browsing on Google that's like, do not buy one.
Yeah.
And here's why.
I mean, yeah, why would you want to?
Yes. This specific Dybbuk box is tied with several other ones that were made in like a series in the way that like in art you have a series of work that's all tied into one main like theme.
Yeah.
That is how this one specifically was made. Okay. And the woman did say that her grandmother had asked to be buried with the box. So she didn't necessarily want just like anyone having it.
Right. I do like the idea of that too, because I think a lot of people would be inclined to think, well, if it's so dangerous, if it's got such a horrible spirit in it, why not just get rid of it? It's like I can see how if someone who believes in it thinks that it will pose no threat as long as you never open it, it's like I can see how you would want to hold on to it and just be like, as long as I have it, I know it will never open. And if it gets buried with me, yeah, it will be safe from the rest of the world forever.
So the only reason she was not buried with it is that is against Jewish Orthodox rules.
Oh.
So she was not buried with the box because they're like, no, we can't do that. It's kind of in the way that in a Jewish cemetery, you cannot be buried there if you have tattoos.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so it's little things like that.
Right.
So she was not buried with this box. And Kevin Manis was like, oh, like we can open it together. And she's like, no. We do not open this box.
Yeah.
We never open this box.
We never open this box.
And she's like, like my grandmother said to never open it, like under any circumstances. So no, we will not open this box. Like I will not be that grandchild that goes against my grandmother's wishes.
Good call. Good call.
And then he's like, well, like we could open it and like you can. He's like, well, like maybe if this is so important to you, like you can keep the box. Like I don't really need it. Like you can keep my money. Like not a big deal.
Yeah.
And she's like, we don't want it. She got pretty upset with him. And she's like, no, we don't want it.
Yeah.
Take it. And then asked him to leave.
Please get out.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Originally, Manis bought it because he owned a small furniture refurbishing business.
Yeah.
So he intended to finish it and give it to his mother as a nice birthday gift. And it is a very pretty cabinet. It has like I think it has like these grape handles on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if what I looked up is the same one that you're talking about, but it's very pretty. It's a very well crafted box.
It is. I'm gonna see if what shows up is like the Yeah, it has like the handles that are like the grapevines, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the handles, yeah. And then like one of the first images was like Dybbuk Box, haunted or hoax.
Haunted or hoax.
So either way, it's a very beautiful box.
It is, yeah,
And
absolutely.
he brought it to his store and he's like, well, I'm going to work on it in the basement. That's where he does like all the refinishing for different items.
Yeah.
And he brought it down there and he's like, okay, like I'm going to run some errands and then I'm going to like come back and like refinish it. I think he had in fact opened it to look at it more. And he's like, well, like I'll work on it when I come back. And shortly after leaving, his salesperson at his store called him absolutely upset, in complete hysterics, because someone came into the store, was breaking the glass cases, locked the iron security gates so she could not get out.
Jesus.
And she ended up like locking herself in the office and was like in the corner under the desk, super upset. And he's like, well, like call the police. I'll be there. My phone's about to die. So like, I don't know if I can call them. So they got in there, they opened the gates and found her in the back room corner of his office, super upset. So then he ran downstairs to be like, oh my God, like, did they steal anything downstairs? I have items down there. Nothing was touched, but all of the lights were broken.
Oh, shit.
So, like, even the lights that were still, like, screwed in, those were all broken. Any sort of, like, replacement bulbs were broken.
Yeah.
Everything. And that was the only thing that, like, was destroyed was the light bulbs downstairs and then, like, the glass cases upstairs. But there was only one entrance like to the basement and out, and like maybe one other entrance to the store outside of the front door.
Yeah, yeah.
So he didn't run into anybody. So he's like, okay, like there's only so many exits.
Right.
The possibility of us, especially if like one of the entrances was locked, because I think they came in the back way. They're like, we would have run into this person.
Right,
but
right.
we didn't. So that was kind of odd. And then after that, his salesperson never came back to work. And to this day, she will not talk about what happened.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most horrifying moments of her life. So that's, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to relive it. Fuck it.
I would quit my job too and be like, I don't need to work here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I don't have money. No, I will not do it.
Shit, if any of this might not be in your control or whatever, fuck that.
Fuck this. I do not want any part. So then about 2 weeks after, going to the estate sale and getting everything, he decided he was going to finish the cabinet. It had been sitting in the basement. So he's like, you know what? I'll actually get around to it. And he noticed that it had a few unique mechanisms with the door. One being that when you opened one of the doors, the other opened and then like the drawer would open.
Right, yeah. Okay. I think I remember that now, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, that's kind of cool. Like, it's got some cool design mechanisms to it as far as functionality. It didn't have any, like, spring doors, so it didn't, like, pop open and stay open.
Mm-hmm.
It was more on, like, hinges. And looking at it, he's like, this is a really well-made box. It's beautifully crafted. Inside, he found a 1928 U.S. wheat penny.
Wow.
And then a 1925 U.S. wheat penny.
I have a friend who could tell us exactly how much those are worth off the top of his head.
Really?
Yeah, I think he has been into coins since we were in middle school. Probably earlier, cool. But I didn't know him prior to that, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he loves it. It's good stuff. That would probably really spark his interest.
Yeah.
I imagine they are worth roughly more than a penny.
Yes, I would say so. And he also found a small lock of blonde hair that was tied with a string, as well as a lock of brown hair that was tied with a string, which I know parents do that if they, like, when they go and take their kids to get their hair cut for the first time, they, like, save a lock of hair, which is a little creepy.
I was gonna say that. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was creepy or not. Like, it is a little creepy.
I know it is common for people to do that, but I personally think it is creepy and will not save any hair for any future children I have because I think it's weird.
I will say that I think my mom has baby books of me and Zach, and now that I think about it, I believe they do have locks of hair taped into them. And I didn't think about it until you just mentioned it just now, but I do think that is a little weird.
Well, you know, it is for good intentions and not for any weird, nefarious reason.
Yeah, she's not casting a spell unless those books are somehow grimoires or whatever.
No. Most parents, like, they have a baby book, and that's, like, where it is because it's in your baby book. It's not because they're like, I'm going to cast some sort of evil incantation with my child's hair. Also, like, why would you do that to your child?
Yeah.
Like, that's mean.
That's mean.
So, there was also a small granite statue that was engraved with gilded Hebrew letters. So, like, kind of gold Hebrew letters in it.
Yeah.
There was a single dried rosebud, a gold wine cup, and a kind of strange black cast iron candlestick holder that had octopus legs.
That's kind of awesome. That's fucking sweet.
I think it's pretty awesome. I'd love to see something like that. It's like,
hell yeah. That's a good gift idea.
With finding these objects, he's like, I feel like maybe the family didn't know that this was in here. I don't feel quite right keeping it. So he tried to send it back to them, and they refused to take it. So they kept sending it back.
Oh.
So he's like,
That's
okay.
just a lot of postage. Come on, guys. Jeez.
Guess I will just keep this. And upon, like, actually looking at the cabinet and getting a better look, he decided to not refinish the cabinet. So he instead just kind of cleaned it out, rubbed it down with, like, a lemon oil, and gave it to his mom as a birthday gift, which he wasn't able to give it to her on her actual birthday because she was out of town. So she met up with him later to, like, kind of go out for, like, a lunch and do, like, a little birthday celebration with the two of them, since I think she was, like, with one of his siblings.
Yeah.
So he gave it to her, and they were going to go out for lunch. He's like, well, I just got to make this phone call real quick, and then we'll go. And as he was on this phone, it had maybe been like 5 minutes. One of his employees runs back to him, and he's like, there's something going on with your mom. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's serious.
Yeah.
So he runs back. She's, like, sitting in this chair, somewhat paralyzed with, like, this horrific expression on her face. Just, like, I think she was crying even.
Oh no.
But she ended up having a stroke.
Oh.
And she did suffer from partial paralysis. She lost her ability to form words and sentences.
Oh my God.
Which she has since regained, and she did recover from the stroke, but it did take a while. And he did say to her, when she was starting to, like, work on words, one of the things she kept saying to him was, no gift. No gift.
Wow.
And he was like, it's okay if, like, you didn't like it. Like, I'm sorry you didn't like it. Like, I will get you anything else you want. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Thinking that she just didn't like the look of it, and not really correlating that this box was causing these problems.
Right.
And then he attempted to regift it to multiple people. The first being his sister, who gave it back after about 3 weeks because she kept saying the doors would not stay closed. She's like, I don't know what it is with these doors. They will not stay closed.
Okay, that would be horrifying.
There's not, like, a spring to keep them open, so that's kind of weird. And
she's
like, I don't want it. No, thank you. So then he gave it to his brother. And, so she had it for only a week. So she didn't have it for very long.
It was disturbing enough in that short of a time that she's like, fuck this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then he gave it to his brother. And he gave it back after 3 days because his wife kept saying that it smelled like cat urine. And
oh, God.
he disagreed and was like, it smells like jasmine, which
Whoa, okay.
jasmine is an acquired smell. Not everyone loves jasmine.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to go on a bit of a rant there, but I guess I'm not familiar with jasmine. Could it be mistaken for cat pee? It's that much of an acquired like preference.
I think it's one of those things in that I have a lotion that smells like jasmine.
I thought you were going to say cat piss, and I'm like, that's not good.
I call it my old lady lotion. It's like really great for my hands. But I'm like, it smells like old people. Kind of like in the way that like mothballs smells like old people.
Yeah. No, I get you there. Yeah.
Jasmine is kind of one of those smells. And not everyone likes it. Like some people think it smells really weird or they really don't like the smell. So he got a strong sense of jasmine and his wife got a strong sense of cat urine.
Yeesh.
So he gave it back after 3 days. He then gave it to his girlfriend and she gave it back after 2 days and was like, you need to sell this. Didn't say why she didn't want it, just said you need to sell it.
Yeah, I feel like 3 is enough. Stop trying to give this to people.
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro.
So then he sold it in his store. Okay. And he sold it to like an older middle-aged couple. Yeah. And then 3 days later, when he went in for work, the box was on the front door with a note that said, "Go fuck yourself. This has bad darkness. We don't want our money back." Essentially. That's creepy. They didn't want to take it back. So then he's like, well, okay, like obviously I can't give this to anybody. I'm going to take it home. So this is when he started having more trouble. Oh, you don't say. I know. Yeah, when he takes the evil gift box home. Gee, I wonder why nobody wants this. I just don't understand. It's a beautiful gift, but like everybody hates it. I think you kind of got a problem if everybody hates it. And literally every single person. There again, like the first 2, okay, maybe kind of a fluke. 3, 4, 5 people. You even try to sell it to someone, and even they're like, no. And I'm not trying to rag on anybody for their comprehension of language, but like there's something extra creepy about the sort of broken language, English in which it was written of like bad inbox. Not taking. I don't remember what the actual text was. When he sold it, they left a note. This has bad darkness. This has bad darkness. Yeah, that's just extra creepy. Yeah. So then Kevin decided to bring it home and he immediately started having reoccurring nightmares every single night. Oh my God. And the dream started with him walking with a friend, kind of that like familiar friend energy. And then as the dream goes on, he realizes that there's something wrong with their eyes, which the eyes are the window to the soul. Right. So that should have tipped you off right there. And that like there's just something evil about the eyes. Right. And then this person transforms into the most gruesome, evil, demonic looking hag. Oh my God. Cool. And then she proceeds to beat the ever-living shit out of him. Which I think is, as horrifying as that would be, like, as you're dreaming, it's kind of funny. Well, and I don't know why, but I think, like, with our conversation about, like, incubus and succubus, I was thinking that something very untoward was going to happen. She was going to do something to him that was not just beating the ever-loving shit out of him. Beating him down like with her purse or something. Yeah, that's kind of what I imagine. She's just, you son of a bitch. Yeah. So then with that, he started waking up with like marks and bruises on his body. Oh, and wow. Not really understanding how or why. Mm-hmm. Still did not think about this box. And then they had like a family gathering, and his family stayed over about a month later after bringing it home. And he mentioned, he's like, I've been having this reoccurring nightmare. To which his brother, sister, and girlfriend were all like, yeah, we've all had this same nightmare.
Yeah,
when that box
bro.
was in our house. So it was kind of then he's like, oh, there's something kind of wrong with this cabinet.
Yeah, I think there's a problem.
With that, he started seeing things out of his peripheral vision.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Oh, it is awesome. So great. And it was a lot more like shadowy figures and kind of this darkness in his periphery.
Yeah.
And one of the nights he put the cabinet in like an outside storage shed, and his smoke alarm started going off in the middle of the night, although nothing was burning or on fire and there was no smoke. So then he brought it back in the house, and then his house started smelling like ammonia, cat urine. And he's like, I've never owned a cat. I have not, do not, and will not own a cat. Where is this coming from?
Right.
So then one of the nights he tried to do some research on the box and what like a Dybbuk is.
Yeah.
And he ended up falling asleep while scouring the internet and woke up to the feeling of someone like breathing on his neck and a strong smell of jasmine.
Son of a bitch.
Which woke him up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he saw a large shadowy figure running at him down the hallway.
Oh my God.
Which I don't know what he did to dispel that, if he like looked away and it was gone or what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
He considered burning the box to get rid of it, but then was more afraid that doing that would cause more problems than just like selling it. So he sold it on eBay.
Good call.
And he sold it to Jason Haxton, who bought it in June of 2003. And he bought it off of eBay, was excited about it, and then immediately had problems once he got it.
I do have to interrupt real quick. Like, in terms of him being excited, do you happen to have any info on, like, whether or not what it was explained to him? Like, did he think he was just getting, like, a wine box? Or did he expect to be getting, like, a demonically possessed thing?
So there actually is, and I'm looking up what the specific title of it was, which for him, he was definitely more on the skeptical side. So he's like, yeah, okay.
Okay, so
the title.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
The title is Dybbuk Haunted Jewish Wine Cabinet Box.
I mean, so haunted is in there. It's not really explicitly talked about how much shit it has potentially caused, but he did put it in the title.
So the actual listing says, with kind of like the information about it and being like, there is no minimum price. Like, if I can do anything to make it easier for you to get this, like, I will. I am like not really dealing with this, and that everything originally in this box will be sold to you. And
it seems like he was pretty well informed.
Yeah. Number one, no, I am not religious. Number one, no, I do not wish to have or participate in any sort of exorcism or case study or photo sessions at my home. 3, no, I will not sell any of the individual pieces which were originally found separate from the other pieces in the cabinet. Number 4, no, I do not speak Hebrew. No, do I know what the word kasilim means. I do not know what if that word is even Hebrew.
Oh, yeah, Turkish. There's that word again, yeah. Kasilim.
Number 5, at the end of the auction, I have decided to take an opportunity to speak with the winning bidder for 2 reasons. A, to make sure the winning bidder is a serious adult who has employed some valid reasoning skills in making the decision to accept whatever this is. I will not be judgmental. Do what you want or need to after the sale. And number B, to offer full details of the events that have transpired after I will carry out the responsibilities and will process the payment and send this to you. And at that point, I will have no further involvement in the matter in any way, shape, or form, period. Which I think that is kind of important to remember.
Into infinitum, beyond my death,
I want nothing to do with this ever again.
Right. Eventually, I will shed my mortal coil and find myself snuggled safely within the bosom of eternity, unto which this box will have nothing to do with me. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And
Fair
number
enough.
6, to all of you who have offered to pray, I may not be religious, but I am certainly open to the possibilities, no matter what your religion may be. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
And that was the information under the original listing.
Wow. Okay, so I mean, pretty fair. Pretty like that's being remarkably open about what you're trying to sell. Like, look, this might lead to you being damned to hell for all eternity. So
people sell ghosts on eBay all the time.
They sell ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you should sell Eugene.
I don't think I could do that. I don't have anything he owns.
Get him a Dybbuk box. Get him a Dybbuk box and put a little note in there like, hello, my name's Eugene. I'm not an asshole. I just want to watch Yahoo Finance.
Just watch Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, put a little tablet. Just get a really cheap tablet off of Amazon for like $20 and just put Yahoo Finance in there. Just lock it up.
So, yeah, someone has sold a ghost on eBay, and they gave the person like that family member's cane, like their walking cane.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're attached to it.
Yeah, it's their third leg.
Yeah,
they're walking around. Yeah, all right.
So people have sold ghosts, and they've sold haunted dolls and all kinds of shit.
I see. Yeah, so they're. Okay, yeah, I get it now. They're not selling like a jar with empty
air. There's a ghost in here.
Or certificate officially notifying of one ghost presence. I got you. They're just trying to clear out their attic and saying that it's haunted.
Yeah. So he got the antique wooden wine cabinet off eBay.
Nice.
And when he put his hands on the box, he said it felt like he got a knife to the gut, and he immediately started having nightmares of the hag that supposedly comes with this box now that he has it.
Right.
He heard about it from a colleague whose roommate, who is Manus, had listed it after some bizarre experiences, which included hair loss and smelling bad odors.
Oh my god.
And he's like, I'm a man of science. I don't really believe in this, but I'm interested in an antique wooden wine cabinet.
Right.
So then he started having a wave of bad luck. Part of which was that he got really ill and was like, maybe this box actually is haunted. So he sought advice from a rabbi because he knew the original owner was Jewish. And he's like, well, if anyone knows, a rabbi probably knows.
Yeah.
He'll know how to deal with it. And he told him to place the cabinet in a gold-lined wooden container to negate whatever spirit is haunting it, to keep it closed. And whatever it was, it put a stop to the problems he was having. And he currently he started storing the box in a military-grade case and buried it. Wasn't really having problems. It kind of became a joke in the family that he would gift it to people.
Yeah.
His mom was not about it. She was like, I want nothing to do with that. I have my own problems. Do not give it to me. But for the most part, he didn't seem to have a ton of issues with the box after that. He did later write a book about the Dybbuk Box and was involved in the movie The Possession.
Oh, no shit. That's cool.
Yes. Both Manus and Haxton worked on it, so they were both involved. And this is where our good old friend Zak Bagan comes in.
Yeah.
In which 2016, Haxton sold it to him. He had tons of people offering to buy it for him or from him, and he sold it to Zak Bagans, and it currently resides in his haunted museum in Las Vegas.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, you can go and tour, right?
You can go and tour. They have a regular tour, and they also have a like haunted flashlight tour.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I don't know if I myself could handle the haunted flashlight tour, just because knowing some of the objects he has in there, I'm like,
oh, no, wait.
I don't know if I can handle that.
No, like next year for Halloween, we should do that as like a Patreon exclusive. Like we should do like a YouTube video thing where we put on like chest cameras and we go through the. I'm telling you, that'd be great.
Matt, I'm gonna have a heart attack in that place.
Well,
I will die and haunt it.
Look,
I'll be a new resident ghost.
Look, I'm just telling you, he would be legally liable for anything that happened to you. So it's all good.
No, he would not, because you have to sign a waiver.
Son of a bitch, he's thought of everything. Bagan! Bastard! You've got us again!
Part of it is that they cannot guarantee that things may not attach you, may attach to you.
Right, might follow you home. Okay.
So they do not want to claim responsibility for any problems as far as your health and well-being, mental well-being, physical aliveness, generally.
Physical aliveness, yeah.
That is, these are all terms I am making up on the spot. I do know that there is a waiver and that they have it so that should something happen to you, they are not liable.
That's fair. No, I just the phrasing of physical aliveness does not usually seem like standard boilerplate for a disclaimer.
That is one of my favorite things that actually watching Dr. Mike, he talks about is incompatible with life. Unalive.
Yes, incompatible with life. Yep. That is an interesting statement. It's like perfectly clinical, but also totally understandable. It is incompatible with life.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff we talk about seems to be that.
Yeah, that's true. So this box was actually featured on an episode of Deadly Possessions, and this was like right after he did it. Because I believe that aired in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And in it, he actually had both Manus and Haxton come to the museum, and he both gave him time with it. And I can say that Manus was like super weird, which I don't know if that's more of like the producers being like, hey dude, like be creepy.
Yeah.
Or him doing it more from like an attention seeking type of place, which could all be possible.
Yeah.
But he, like, at one point, because they have it in like this just kind of like a blank room, there's like some pipes along the wall. I think he puts them like in the basement in this room before he like gives them their like proper home, so that like he can, because Zak likes to spend time with each object and kind of have that with whatever spirit that may or may not be haunting it, kind of have that like, hey, like this is your home now, and this is like where you will be.
Right.
This is a safe space for you to be whatever you do as a spirit. You can interact with, kind of having that like, this is your home now, and like you will be taken care of type of conversation.
I have to admit,
even as you have to have that with a ghost, but I think it's nice.
I was gonna say, I'm a skeptic. I don't think that is like a necessary step, but I will say that is very sweet.
I think he really cares about the objects in his museum, which as much as people love to give Zak Bagan such a hard time for just being Zak Bagans and being like, we're going ghost hunting and oh my god, did you see that? And being like such a bro.
Yeah.
That
right.
Doing stuff like that where like he takes the time with each of his objects to be there. And like he actually did quarantine in his museum because he wanted to be there with everything. Mm-hmm. Instead of just having it like without anybody, he wanted to be there.
Yeah. Well, and I will say
for like that reason.
Yeah, and I will say that like I sometimes give him shit while we're talking about stuff. My only real conflicting issue is just that I am a skeptic. I personally think that like everything he does, he really does believe in, and he does like for the like purest reasons. So even though I don't necessarily believe in it, I do think that he is doing what he does for a good reason and stuff, and he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah. So then with his show Deadly Possessions, he himself would take time with like each of the objects and just like be there they had it in this basement room, which was kind of more like a neutral space.
Mm-hmm.
And he offered both Haxton and Manus to like spend time with it, and
kind
Jason
of let it
Haxton
go.
was like, nah, it's like I've spent enough time with this thing. Like, I don't really need that. Like, I know it's going to a good place, so he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Whereas Manus very much had Schmiegel ring vibes.
Oh my.
At like one point, he's like staring at the wall, like right in front of one of the pipes that was like just running along the wall, and he's like talking to himself, staring at the wall with the box like behind him.
Whoa.
And it's just like really weird. And again, it could just be for TV.
Right.
Because like it's TV. It's like kind of a reality TV in a way, but it was really weird. And Haxton actually said to Zach, he's like, Manus is being like super weird. He's like, he's being like extra odd. And
I won't deny that's not.
Oh, you think so? And he's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, that is not the direction I was expecting you to go with that. That is genuinely pretty creepy.
It gave me such like weird vibes, and there's kind of been some, I guess, animosity between Haxton and Manus to a degree. They do not really get along.
Oh,
Haxton personally believes that Manus himself cursed the box.
Oh, okay.
And that it was not cursed before, and that he kind of fabricated this whole story about the old woman from the Holocaust.
Interesting.
To kind of get people to like be interested and like make money off of it.
Sure.
Which Manus has been like, I made that whole thing up. Like, that's not real. But Haxton's like, yeah, that may not be real, but you did something weird with this, and it was definitely cursed when I had it.
So just to confirm, the one guy accuses him of making all this up, and then the guy that he accuses, just because I am terrible with names, I don't remember who it was, but he admits that he made up that story?
Yeah, so the first buyer, Kevin Manus, and he's like, well, like, I made it up because I'm a creative writer, like, that's what I do. But then the person who made the book about it was Jason Haxton, the second buyer.
Right, and he legitimately had some fucked up.
Actually had issues with it, and he is the person who, in some ways, was like, hey, like, I know I can use this, like, to my advantage. Like, they got a movie made out of it. He wrote a book about it, and he was like, really, Manus is just kind of upset that, like, he didn't think to do this himself.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh. Man, we do not like each other, do we?
It's pretty rare that you hear about seller's remorse. He just got rid of something that he could have made like a book and a movie deal out of.
Which, the thing I think is very interesting is that between the two of them, the person who does more appearances and stuff about it is Kevin Manus and not Jason Haxton.
Okay.
Which
could also be seen.
Had it from 2003 to 2016. He had it for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Whereas Kevin had it for like that short span of time.
Yeah.
But he's kind of been the one that's like, oh, like it's this like horrible, like this, all these horrible things happen to me, and it's this crazy story. And Jason's kind of like, yeah, we keep it closed. We kept it we kept it buried in the yard in like a special box. Which, I mean, considering that the grandmother supposedly wanted it buried with her.
Yeah.
Kind of where it like maybe wants to be. In the ground.
In the ground, yeah.
Because I believe once he had buried it, he didn't really have tons of issues with it. Once it was in like its own spot, and then when they brought it out for haunted possessions, and that was actually when Zak bought it, he was like, "You've had this buried in your yard?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, it's like it's where it's safe." But he very much was like, "Yeah, no, Kevin's being really weird." And he's like, "I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the guy, but like this is really odd behavior for him," which is either calling him out for like wanting the attention or also being like concerned that he's like, yeah, there's something kind of wrong with him.
There's something just kind of wrong with the guy.
Which like you kind of get that watching it where like you're just like something's really off. Especially when he's like sitting in the basement talking to himself and you're like, oh, that's unsettling.
Yeah, that would be off-putting for sure.
Yeah. And at one point in the quarantine edition of Ghost Adventures, which were all episodes in the museum with, I think they had various celebrities come in like after quarantining for 2 weeks and they could like come and sit in the museum.
Okay, yeah.
He had Post Malone come in and hang out with him. And Post Malone says that he got cursed from the box.
Oh,
although
come on.
He says like
Cursed
he touched it, but like Zak was touching it and he touched Zak.
Yeah.
Which if you watch like the footage of it, they like jump away from each other and they're like, oh my God. And it's like dramatic.
Yeah.
But he did say that afterwards he thought he was cursed because he had a series of unfortunate events, which, you know, good things come in threes and so do bad things.
Well, I mean, Lemony Snicket also had a series of unfortunate events, and that's fiction. So, I mean,
yeah.
How much are we gonna put in stock for Post Malone? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So for him, some of his bad luck was the tires on his plane blew out.
Oh shit! Okay.
He had a car accident with his Rolls Royce.
Ooh.
And then his house was robbed. So.
Okay.
It's certainly bad luck, and it's unfortunate, but I could not say if it is from this box or not.
You know, well, that's for certain. Yeah, that's certainly true. But when you said he experienced a series of unfortunate events, that is pretty damn unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, like I got locked out of my house, or like maybe it didn't go right for me. It's like
left my keys
I almost died twice, and someone broke into my house and like could have killed me.
Yeah, well, and especially the tires blowing out on the plane. That really doesn't happen very often.
No, it can happen, and it's
for
not like it's something that doesn't, but it is not like that happens often.
That is a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah. And he did say that once they were in like the room with the Dybbuk box and like Zak touched it, he saw a dark figure like following them around the museum that night.
Ooh.
Which there are lots of haunted objects in that museum. Like everything in there is haunted. So could not necessarily say if it was the Dybbuk box or something else.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's basically rivaling the Warrens' estate, like the stuff that they have locked up. Yeah.
Well, and I think he's probably gonna try to get some of those items. Like, I think he would.
Oh yeah.
Probably kill to have Annabelle in his museum.
Oh my God! Yeah, like there again, even as a skeptic, like he would be so right to try and get some of their stuff. Like that's kind of become what his brand is. So if he could get any of their collection for sure. And also just the idea that not even the particular objects, but like that he has some of the stuff that the Warrens have, that would be such a boon to his collection for sure.
Yeah, and I definitely want to do an episode on the Warrens because there is some crazy stuff with them just in general outside of the cases that they have been a part of.
Yeah, and they are probably the most compelling like paranormal collection of stories that exists.
I would say so. So Zach was saying that when they were in the room and he did touch the box, he heard Kevin, which would be in reference to Kevin Manis, along with the words evil, and he heard like a child's voice. Which, if you know anything about demons, is that demons like to disguise themselves as little girls.
And even outside of that, children are creepy.
Yeah, children ghosts are pretty creepy.
Ugh.
And knowing that a lot of demons like to be like, oh, I'm a sweet, innocent little girl. You can trust me. Like, don't trust a child ghost ever.
Never trust a child ghost.
Never trust a child ghost.
Ugh.
And in some ways, that does kind of show that, like, there's the potential that maybe Manis himself is evil and he did curse the box, and that, like...
Oh, yeah.
There is that, like, oh, like, we know who did it. Ha ha ha.
Find out in next week's episode of Ghost Hunter. Yeah, no, I could...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good angle to take.
It is.
It keeps the intrigue alive.
It does. And that being said, I think Zach does intend to buy all of the Dybbuk boxes if he can find all of them.
Yes.
And he does currently have 2, like I said earlier.
And for the record, I just want to say, like, I was doing a really quick search online. The Dybbuk boxes I was talking about that are on eBay are all like handcrafted. So do your like, if for whatever reason you want a Dybbuk box, just be sure that what you're buying is like a home built thing, because a lot of them are going for hundreds of dollars. And
I believe most of them are handcrafted wood.
So yeah, before you shell out, like, it's like the cheapest one I think I saw was $80. And not to say that it didn't take some craftsmanship and time. They're doing like pouring of like oil paints and stuff. They look really cool. Just spend your money wisely. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I, as more of a believer, definitely like do not mess with any of those things. Like, I will not buy anything that I know is haunted. I just don't need to bring that kind of stuff in my house.
Yeah. Which is fair. I mean, especially like being a believer, I imagine why would you invite that in? If this is something you actually believe in, why would you want it to be a part of your life? No, thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to invite, at least like knowingly invite something nefarious into my house that, I don't know, could make me like slip in the shower.
Yeah, right.
And, like, because falling in the shower is super dangerous and you can die from that. So.
And if you're a believer and you have one of these boxes, stop trying to sell them on eBay. Contact Zak Bagans and see if
call
he
Zak
can.
Bagans and see if he wants it, because he
he'll
loves
take it.
haunted stuff.
Yeah, he will take the time and the care to make sure that it is not necessarily made inert, but at least properly contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's, he very much cares about all of the haunted things that he has. So, it would go to a good home and be in good hands.
Yeah.
And with that is actually the end of our episode.
Woo! That was a bit of a ride.
Yeah. When I first heard of the Dybbuk box, I actually heard it on And That's Why We Drink. Yeah. And it just gave me chills. And then watching Zach's Haunted Possessions, I'm like, no, the Dybbuk box, no.
Yeah. Well, and I wish I could remember what I saw, but I definitely listened. I might have been at work and was like listening to a YouTube channel thing. But I do remember the guy, what you described of him having the box and like trying to fix it up and selling it to people and stuff. And there again, even as a skeptic, it is incredibly compelling and creepy.
It is.
It's
something.
It's a terrifying story.
And with that, if any of you actually have any sort of creepy, true crime, haunted type story, we are collecting them and reading them on our Patreon.
Yes.
We like to share those because I think they're really cool.
Absolutely. And if you
So
want to
just
get in
join
touch
us
with us,
there.
yeah, please email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com. You can tweet us at peculiarpairpod on Twitter, and that's what tweeting means. And you can contact us on Instagram at peculiarpairingspod. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Do we have ratings for our pairings today?
I'm going to be honest, I almost went straight 10. I did not think that I was going to like it as much. Because there again, I know I've had Jeremiah Weed sweet tea vodka before, but I honestly don't remember like how I prepared it, what I had it in as a drink, maybe a Long Island iced tea.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, I think that's what it was. But this I just kind of made up, and it went better. It's very simple, and it went better than I thought it would. I just boiled some water. Yeah, I just boiled some water, put some of the deep eddies in there. There again, I think it was a shot and a half. Filled it up with water. It was nice and hot. It tastes like tea, and it is, I can confirm, is very highly alcoholic.
Yeah.
Contented. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it paired really well with I was trying to keep the noise down, but every so often I was eating one of the caramels and taking a sip of tea. I'm gonna go 9. Not perfect, but it was exceeded expectations is a good way to put it. I liked it a lot.
I would say so. I think I would give the tea probably a 9, and I'm giving my caramel chocolate a 10.
Nice.
Because it's amazing. And I think the only way just caramel itself would be that kind of pairing is like if you made it yourself. But the store-bought stuff I do really like, and I'd give that a solid 9. So
yeah, it's well, and it's one of those things where I'm not like a caramel-holic if those exist, but every time I get it, I remember how much I like it, and it reminds me of good memories being a kid and stuff. There's something really satisfying about a good caramel that just hits you in the right spot.
It does. It's good.
Yeah. So not quite perfect, but pretty damn good pairing.
Close.
I would say so. It's good times.
I would too.
With that being said, do we have a plan for next week? A topic and whatnot?
Next week, I believe we are talking about the Honolulu Strangler.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a lesser known serial killer and unsolved.
Ooh.
So I'm
double
excited
points.
About that one.
Yeah, when you first mentioned that, I forgot you texted me that, and I'm like, I don't know what that is at all. Not that I listen to a lot of... I've been learning more recently that as much as I consider myself to be a true crime fan, I don't listen to as much as a lot of people that I know, so... I am not as informed as a lot of people, which works perfectly for this show, so...
It does.
It does. But at any rate, we've been going on for quite a while. Thank you all for have made it to the end. We appreciate you listening with us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, listeners.
Bye-bye.